Hello, good afternoon. My name is Stephen Watts. A little bit about myself. I am a junior at the University of North Florida, majoring in transportation and logistics and management with a minor in international business. Um, three of my strengths I would have to say is my adaptability, my my drive once I set my mind on something, and my ability to work well with others. One of the weaknesses I would have to say I have is not being satisfied with something. I am always interested in finding a better solution to doing things, and sometimes that can help me when I'm trying to perform task. Um, would I say that I am a good team player? I would have to say yes, I am a very good team player. I've played sports all my life. I've dealt with adversity there. I've worked with people who don't speak the same language as me. That can be very difficult at times. Um, and I've always ended up doing pretty well. So yes, I would have to say I am a team player. Um, a situation where I had to adjust quickly to change over which I had no control over. A great example of that would be when I was studying abroad. On my way home, the very last day, I was waiting for the train, or I was waiting for the bus at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and for some apparent reason, the bus never came, and I was about 2 miles away from the metro station, and finding out later that it was there was a minister in town, and so the bus lines were shut down. The minister of health, and I walked, and I was about to be late, and so I ended up just deciding that I was going to walk with all my luggage, my 40-pound suitcase, my 30-pound suitcase, my two oversized book bags. I was going to walk 2 miles to the metro station, which I did. Made it to the metro station, which I had to take a couple of stops to the train station. And while I was on my way there, I missed my train, and I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should just come back, and instead, like, 'cause I knew I was going to be late. I was thinking I was not going to be able to make it to my flight. I had no phone, no way to contact anything, didn't speak the same language, couldn't borrow a phone, and just kept going and trying to hope for the best. And then I was able to come up with a solution um, when I was finally able to meet with one of the ticket agents, and I was able to take another train to another city, and then reroute with a bus, and barely made it on time to my flight, and I ended up making it alright. And just because I was persistent and just kept looking for a solution, I was able to make it on time. Another time where I ended up not being able to get on the bus I was supposed to was when I was leaving Rome to fly back to where I was studying in France. I was at the bus stop that I was for. I had bought my ticket, and the bus filled up, and they were like, "Oh, you're just gonna have to wait and take the next bus." Well, if I would have had to take the next bus, I would have missed my flight, and I was really disappointed. I was not going to be able to. I was going to have to pay a large amount of money for my taxi ticket to get to the airport, so I'd be there on time. And so I was able to make the best of a solution and shared a taxi with a Russian couple and split the price of the taxi 3 ways, and ended up everything worked out well. And so yes, that would be That would be an example of how I've just been able to overcome changes quickly, which I had no control over. What kind of supervisor do I work best for? I would have to say I would work best for a supervisor that gives me the that freedom that I desire to do things the way that I like to do them, and is okay with is okay with just results and guide and is there for my best effort. I don't know. Just somebody that allows me to be me, I guess. And an example of a time where I had to work with a difficult person and how I handled it. An example of a time where I had to work with a difficult person would have been here's a great example, would have been when I was in high school working as a dishwasher at Maggiano's. I was working as a dishwasher and I took pride in my job. I loved my job. I was always trying to do the best I could. Always, I was part of the safety committee. I was getting promotions, and I took the job much more serious than than most of the other dishwashers. And there was one dishwasher that came in and particularly just didn't care for his job very much and didn't like that he thought that I was showing him up, and that because I was working efficiently it made him look bad. And what ended up happening is he was getting mad at me, and because I was trying to make sure that everything was going up to standards, having the dish machines cleaned when they needed to be, and going the extra step that needed to be done in a sanitary environment. And he didn't like this, and so he was getting very hostile, and I removed myself from the situation, and instead of trying to fuel his fire, I kind of just stepped away and went over and found my manager, who was the chef, and informed him of the situation, and he was able to go and speak with him, and not everything went over as planned, and the gentleman ended up being fired and was trying to fight in the parking lot, but I was not involved in any of that, and there were no fights, and just I was able to remove myself from the situation and didn't let the integrity of my work be compromised by what somebody else wanted to do. And that was how I was able to handle working with how I was able to work with a difficult person and how I handled it. If you have any more questions, please let me know. It was great speaking with you. Thank you.